This example, we need to find x, which is the altitude that goes from G to H in the big triangle. So we need to redraw the triangle. So we got the big triangle here. I'm going to draw the medium triangle right here, up here, facing the same way. Here's the right angle. And then I'm going to draw the small triangle right here. It's got a right angle as well, right there. And so we know that G is the right angle, right here. There's the right angle. Okay? And here's a right angle in the small triangle. So that's with H. So I'm going to put H right here. Okay? We got that there. Whoops. I need to put H right there. Okay? And then it turns out that we also have a right angle right here. Whoops, we've got to get off the eraser. Right there, which also is H, but that's in the medium triangle. So H is there. So I go for the easiest angle, which is the H's. So I've turned these triangles. Now we need to figure out which side is the biggest side. Well, it turns out if the right angle is here, the side opposite it is the biggest. Okay, so the side opposite here is the biggest. The side opposite this is the biggest. Okay? Whoops. So we got that there. So we know those are the biggest. Now what we need to do is the second biggest. So I'm going to look at this medium triangle right here. So what is the second? I already know I've got this is the biggest. What is the second biggest side? Well, it looks like this is second. So across from that is angle G. What was the second biggest side in the big triangle? Right here. What was the second biggest side there? Well, here's 4. So across from that, whoops. So across from that is E. So wherever E is on top, I want G to go on top as well. So that means if E is on top of the big triangle, because it's the second biggest angle, then G for the medium triangle is the second biggest. It's going to go there. Okay, so I'm going to erase a bunch of stuff that I drew there so we can go back to it. Okay, let's go to I'll do it in green, this here. So remember, E is the second biggest angle in the big triangle. So we're trying to get a letter right here. So this is the part that's really important. That's why I'm taking time to do it. In that triangle there, what's the second biggest side? Well, it looks like if this is the biggest in that triangle, then it looks like this is the second biggest. So it's going to go point over to here, which is this is the second biggest angle. So I'm also going to put E right there because it corresponds to E, which is the second biggest angle in the big triangle. Okay, that should make it really easy for us to do the rest. In the small triangle, in the medium triangle, we've already used G and H, so the only other one is F. Okay, in the small triangle, we've already used H and we've already used E, so the only thing we still need is G, so this must be G. Okay, so now we've got that. It's really easy. We just have to label our two new triangles. So I'm going to do that. So wherever we see E to G, we're going to put a 3. E to G is right here, 3. There's none there. Okay? Wherever we see G to F, we're going to label it 4. G to F is 4. There's no G to F there. And then wherever we see G to H, we're going to label that X. X and X. Okay. I'm going to clean this up a bit. Clean all this up here. Okay, we've got all that. Now we're going to match things up. We've got a big triangle. We've got the big one. We've got the medium. And we've got the small right here. We need to make ratios of things. So we know that small side to small side. Oh, we don't know that. Well, we know we can go 3 is to x between the big and the medium. So this is the big, this is the medium. Let's go back to the big one and see what we got. Well, we've got a 5. It corresponds to 4. So we'll put big on top here, 5 over 4. That's one way to do it. Let me clean it up a bit. But suppose we didn't see that, or we didn't want to use that for some reason. We could have done it this way. We could have said, okay, I've got this 3. It doesn't go with anything over here. It doesn't go with that, so I'm not going to use it. But I've got this 5 in the big triangle. It goes with 3 in the small triangle. And then I can do the same thing. I've got this 4 in the big triangle. It goes with x in the small one. So I always have big over small, big over small. Here I have big over medium, big over medium. But it turns out when I cross multiply with either of these, I get 3 times 4 is 12. Here I get 3 times 4 is 12. So they give you that part the same. And then I go 5 times x and 5 times x. So I end up getting equals 5x. So x, if I divide by 5, x equals 2.4. Either way to do it. Now that's quite a long way to do it. So again, getting these triangles oriented and labeled right is the key.